Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you? Today we will study Mega Goal 1, Unit 2 Careers for Meaning and Functions. The objectives of our lesson today: at the end of the session, the students will be able to express actions in sentence with while, use time expression to talk about routines, choose a suitable proposition of time, and use relative clause add information. Careers of the future. Simple present tense. Use the simple present to talk about things that are true in general or that happen all the time. How to make affirmative sentence in simple present tense? We use the base form of the verb for the plural subject like I, you, we, or they, Mona or Hoda and Hoda, and we will add S to the verb if the subject is singular like he, she, or it. For example, I work in an office. You work in an office. We work in an office. They work in an office. But if I say he, I should add S. He works in an office or she works in an office. How to change the sentence into negative? We will add don't or doesn't plus base form. We will use don't for plural subject, I, you, they, or we. And we will use doesn't for the singular subject he, she, or it. For example, I don't work in an office, or you don't work in an office. We don't work in an office. But when I say he, I must use doesn't. He doesn't work in an office. Time expressions for the present. We can use time expression to talk about routines or habits. For example, from to, or on weekdays, or on the weekend, or in his free time. He works at the hospital from Sunday to Thursday. Here there is a time expression from to, so I'll use simple present and I add S because the subject here is he. He works at the hospital on weekdays. He doesn't work on the weekend. Here I use the negative form of simple present, doesn't plus base form. In his free time, he plays football. Where is the verb here? Excellent, plays. So I add S because the subject here is he. Present simple. I drink milk every day. They are the time expression of present simple, every day. So I use drink because the subject here is I. She plays basketball on Saturdays. So I use plays. They don't go to the cinema once a week. Here I use don't go. I don't always have breakfast. Always is the key word or time expression for the simple present, so I use have. She always or she usually studies in the afternoon. Studies. He doesn't often write letters. Often is the time expression for the simple present, so I use doesn't write. He sometimes reads the newspaper. Where is the time expression? Excellent. Sometimes. Where is the verb? Reads. They rarely watch TV. Where is the time expression? Rarely. Where is the verb? Watch. I never get up at 6 o'clock. Never is the time expression and get up is the verb. WH question in the simple present. Here we use does or do. We use does for he or she or it or singular, and we use do for plural subject like you, they, we, or I. For example, where does he or she work? Pay attention in the answer. We should add S if the subject is he or she. He works or she works in a hospital. Where do they work? They work or I work in an office. What do you do? I am a salesperson. Keep in mind this note, please. What do you do usually means what's your job? Propositions. Now we will study propositions of time for the present. Look at the examples to understand when we use proposition to talk about time. At first, at. We use at to express time. At 3 o'clock, or at noon, or at midnight, at midday, or at night. We use in before the morning, in the morning, or in the afternoon, or in the evening. And we use on for days, like Thursday, weekdays, Saturday morning, weekends, and the weekend. Now let's complete the sentences with the simple present tense of an appropriate verb. Write the correct proposition. For example, Ahmed is a teacher. He teaches in a high school. He works on weekdays. Number 1, what does your uncle do? Here the subject is singular, so I use does. He is a writer. A writer, so the verb here is write. And the subject here is he, so I'll add S. The answer will be writes. Adnan is a bus driver. He, excellent, drives. He, we should add S to the verb. He works night. What is the appropriate proposition for night? Excellent, at night. Where Omar and Ali, plural subjects, so I'll use to. Where do Omar and Ali work? They work in a hospital. They are doctors. Number 4, Hamid is a journalist. He works for a newspaper. He works on weekdays and on weekends. Fahd is a pilot. He flies planes. He likes to play tennis in his time, in his free time. Relative pronouns who, that, or which. Relative clauses add information about a noun in the main clause. We use the relative pronoun who or that for people, and we use the relative pronoun that or which for things and animals. For example, the man was talking to the tourists. He was friendly. The man who or that was talking to the tourists was friendly. So we omit he and we use who because who refers to person or people, the man. The next example, the computer company is making a good profit. It's called Easy Serve. The computer company that or which is making a good profit is called Easy Serve. Here we use which to refer to things. The computer company. Relative pronouns take the place of the nouns or pronouns. They are called relative pronouns because they always relate back to something or someone else. They are used to join two sentences about the same person or things. Pronouns who replace the subject pronoun I, she, he, we, and they. For example, this is the man who broke the window. Whose show position or relationship. For example, she knows a family whose house we bought. Whom replace the object pronoun me, him, her, us, and them. They have found the lady whom they want to interview. Which clauses that begin with which are almost always non-restrictive. My precious blue lamp, which was in the room, was broken. That clauses that begin with that are almost always restrictive clauses. The lamp that was in the room was broken. Now, past progressive with while. We can use past progressive with while to talk about actions that were happening at the same time. What is the form of past progressive? The form of past progressive is, write the note please, was or were plus verb plus ing. For example, Muhammad was working on the computer while his brother was talking on the phone. Pay attention to the time expression while. So we use past progressive was plus ing because the subject here is singular. While you were working at photography studio, I was studying graphic design at college. Also, we use passive progressive, but we use here were plus ing because the subject here is you. They were waiting for their father at the office, while their father was waiting for them at home. While she was talking with her sister downstairs, her mother was looking for her upstairs. Now, let's complete the sentences with who or that or which. The new driver started work yesterday is very quiet. Here's the subject is excellent person, so I'll use who. The products they launched this week are selling well. The products are things, so I'll use that or which. Number 3, I'd like to introduce you to the person organize the conference person, so I have to use who. Number 4, that isn't the job he applied for. Job is a thing, so I'll use that or which. The actor was playing the lead role was very fun. Actor is a person, so I use who. The last one, isn't that book you were reading last week? The book thing, so I use which or that. Now, make sentences to describe the actions in the picture. For example, it was raining while Yahya was washing the car. Number 1, Faisal was listening to the football match while he was studying. Football match while he was studying. Number 2, Fatima was talking on her cell phone while she was going shopping. Number 3, the people were talking while they were waiting for a bus. You understand, my ladies? Okay. See you later and goodbye.